Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Today we are going to talk about whether Neverness To Everness is the best gacha ever. It's basically my review on this game. If you're wondering what this game is, it's basically like if Grand Theft Auto and Genshin Impact had a kid, this is what it is. So we're going to start with doing the bank robbery in the background, which is easily the worst thing in this game. The bank robbery itself, I thought it's pretty terrible, but it isn't. It's a pretty nice minigame. However, the way they explain it, because there are tutorials in this game, these tutorials are absolute freaking garbage. They are so freaking garbage. It's like you don't understand how it's working before you actually try it. I'm going to explain this gameplay and I'm going to explain it so much easier than they did. And I'm going to do it in 10 seconds. Basically, you go there, you go to the bank robbery, you take as many things with you as you can, right? This is understandable. There are items, you take them. And then what you do is you try to run away with these items. You have to run away through a booth. There's a phone booth in many places. You basically have to find one that's red, and if it's glowing red, that means that it's activated. So before that, I didn't know that. And there's a time limit. And I was like, I found a booth, but it was not activated. And I was like, how do I activate it? What is wrong? How do I do it? Just click on it? Do I have to complete some objective? What do I do? And it was not said what you do when you find a booth that is not activated. And what you have to do when a booth is not activated is just look for another one that's activated. That's basically it. But first time I didn't know it, so I lost like 12 minutes of progress. By the way, because this game is made by Chinese, as all the anime games are nowadays, basically they can't promote illegal stuff, even if it's just a game. They can't show something like, well, you can steal some things technically, and then if you get caught, you go to jail, but like, they wouldn't show you how to rob a bank, because then the Chinese government would get to them and ruin them, basically. So you're thinking, but this is GTA, this revolves on robbing banks. How did they try to make it legal? What is their explanation? How did they justify robbing the bank? And there's basically a whole story behind this. The story behind this, you can read it here. The story about it is that there was a movie, and the movie was about robbing a bank, and so the owners of the bank just decided to let everyone rob their bank legally. How does one lead to another? I don't know. It's just all that this story is. There was a movie, and they basically let everyone just rob their bank. So it's legal because they let you do it. It doesn't make sense, but not a whole lot of shit in gacha makes sense. Okay, let's go. I'm going to talk about other things now. I have to force open this. And again, if we find a booth, here are the items. You can just steal them. And you have to and you have to watch out for the enemies, because if they hit you, you lose money. Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about is combat in this game, and this is like absolutely nothing interesting. This is literally Genshin combat. This is, again, as I said, this is half Genshin, half Grand Theft Auto. The combat in this game, as you can see, it's literally just staring at the cutscenes of characters doing the skills. I don't have anything else to say about that. If you play Genshin, you basically played this game. Okay, another thing is, how good is this game free to play? And you're gonna see I got many stuff for free. I'm going to show you this later, but now we are playing the game. But basically the developers of this game, for gacha, which is a game that revolves on trying to make you either spend the money or dissuade you from playing at all, because that's how gachas work basically. They either try to make you spend money on the game by making you do a lot of chores, right? You basically, the game revolves on getting the characters. So you either get the characters by paying money, or you can get them for free technically. But if you don't spend the money, they're trying to dissuade you, because you're the cost for them, right? Oh, you have to avoid these. You're the cost for them. So if you're not spending money, you're still keeping their servers occupied. So they're going to do their best to make you spend money on the game. That's how Genshin works, that's how Wuthering Waves works, that's how every other gacha works. So generally what happens is they try to make the game very hard to get stuff that you want without spending money. But this game is like, it's actually pretty fun. Even as free-to-play player, you can have fun, which is unexpected from a gacha game, but they give you a lot of free stuff, which is nice. There should be a phone booth teleported there. I didn't notice if it's open or not. I don't see, it's not open. See, so we have to find another one. In just 3 weeks of playing, they gave me basically, they give you 2 premium characters. By premium I mean 5 stars, even though they are in the standard art banner, if you know what that means. Fuck, 6 minutes. Oh, okay, here it is, the red booth that's open. So we're safe now, we can evacuate. They gave me 2 characters. I still haven't chosen them because one of them is a box that I can choose what to pick, and the other one I can also choose to pick whichever one I want, but I haven't yet. Maybe I'm going to do this later, this stream. For now I'm trying to focus on... Oops, I didn't want to be here. I'm trying not to go too far from the phone booth. What I wanted to also talk about is the reason why I was so hyped up for this game is the trailers they showed. They were incredibly trippy. The trailers were trippy. It's like they showed you a lot of these. You're just randomly traveling the map, and suddenly the space around you starts warping and shifting. We're gonna go out 30,000 phones, which is this game's currency. You have these like mind games. You can, as you saw in the bank, there's a lot of these portals that you go through and you end up in a completely different space, and it's like all intertwined and connected, and it takes quite a bit of mind gymnastics to understand all this. Anyway, this game can be really trippy, and some things some things in this game, this is the best character by the way, some things in this game really take quite a lot of thinking about to finally solve them. And I like it, you know? There's a lot of weird shit happening in this game. Just a lot. What else I should talk about? The story. I should talk about the story next. So the story, it's bad. At first it was kinda nice. Oh, by the way, so because this is GTA, you can steal vehicles, technically, but it's... okay. You can do requisition, which basically, the way stealing here works, is you ask them politely to let them steal their car. To let you steal their car, and if they refuse, you just can't get that car, I guess. I mean, there's one way. Okay, he jumps out. Okay, and now you can drive, and now you actually stole the car, and now there's police chasing you. You can see there's 1 star. I have 1 star. If the police actually catch you and they kill you, sort of, right? You respawn in the prison, which is actually such an interesting mechanic. It's such an interesting mechanic. I love this mechanic, and like Genshin wouldn't do this sort of thing. They're too professional for that kind of thing, right? But these developers, they don't care. They just made a prison in the actual game, and you can either actually sit in this prison, you can pay a fine, or you can try to run away from this prison, and that's okay. And that's incredibly fun. That's just fun. I feel like at some point the developers of games forgot that games are meant to be fun. Sure, it's stupid as hell, but it's fun, you know? So I let myself get catched by the police, and for the next 1 hour, you don't get a lot of things from it. You get some money for a successful escape from the prison. It's pretty hard, actually. Because this game is not balanced, and... oh, okay. This game is not balanced, and escaping the prison is pretty hard, but it's incredibly fun, even though you don't get much things. I just sat there for an hour trying to escape, and I managed. I managed to escape. Not because it gives you rewards, but because it's fun. You know, Genshin, MiHoYo wouldn't do something like that. They're too professional for that. But this developer, they're just like, oh, whatever. We'll give the mechanic to some student to make it, and they will make it, and we don't really care. So if someone refuses to let you steal their car. It's like, how dare they? You can just stand on the roof. This is something I realized. You can just... Illegal activity detected nearby. So we're driving a stolen car and we're going to... Oh shit. We're going to stop the illegal activity. Look how good citizen we are. This is like 15 FPS, but I'm on the highest settings. Why is this 15 FPS suddenly? Holy cow. I don't know why, it's weird. Okay, anyway. Car driving mechanics. I was to talk about stories and I forgot. So let's talk about car driving mechanics while we're still here driving the car. I'll talk about car driving mechanics later. No, I'll talk about story later. This is such a professional stream. Anyway, car driving mechanics. They are incredibly simple. Again, just some Chinese student made them. But they're okay, you can drift a bit. I guess it's sort of fun. It's about as simple as it can be. It's not bad, it's just incredibly simple. That's all. It's about time that we actually run away because I kind of don't want to go to jail. It's nothing special, it's not a racing game, it's not GTA even. GTA definitely has better physics of car racing. Okay, I can show you what my actually legal car is that I bought. Vehicle requested. As with every gacha game, you have these okay, cooling down, finally. You have these birds that you collect and you give them to some character, whatever, I don't know. You get rewards for it. Yeah, as you can see, my car it's a bit broken down. It's Hachiroku, it's 86. Basically, it's a drift machine. Again, you get quite some characters. There's also this character that you can get through level upping, and you get this by getting money. So money is pretty important in this game. Eventually get this character for free. Her name is Cheese because she's a mouse. I mean, obviously the cat girl is the best. Hair. I'll show you some cool things later, but what was I to talk about now? Right, so money, you can make money multiple ways. There's this hobbies, you can deliver tracks, you can do races, you can play flash games. Yes, there's literally incredibly old flash games in this. You can, what else you can do? You can do taxi. If you can drive pretty quickly, which is pretty easy to... Sorry. Just pretty easy to learn to drive fast in this game. You can make a lot of money by just doing taxi. And you can also make money by buying cafes. I can see where I'm going. You can buy cafes and then you can hire slaves and they make money for you. Basically, you collect earnings. I've been trying to level this up very much. Purchase, okay. We'll have to go there because this is actually quite OP once you level this up. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at driving right now. It's because I'm trying to focus on two things at the time. So yeah, making money isn't hard, it just takes a little bit of time, okay? Going back to the stories are boring. They're cool at first. The story is cool at first, as with every gacha game. At first, they're really trying to make the game fun, and it's incredibly fun to play. But later, they sort of cheap out on everything. The animations are still nice, but the story is just so incredibly boring and long and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and there's so many digressions that you have to go through to actually do the story quests. It's kind of boring. You don't play this game for story. It's okay. It's still better than Genshin. Genshin really set the bar very low for these kind of games. Music is okay. You can hear it. This is kind of metally song, but you get a lot of different songs. There's some dubstep. I'm going to change. There's some songs that I really like. Yeah, the story has its cool parts though. There was this part of the story. I'll try not to spoil anything. Not that I could do that because I don't understand the story anyway. But there was this part of the story where you go trying to procure an item of a very important auction. There's a lot of VIPs there. And one character is just a drunkie. This girl is just drunk all the time, one of the characters. And basically that character was there in the story. There was this pretty cool mechanic where she got drunk or something and she just kind of got into an argument with some VIPs. And she just started trash talking them, and you get this cool little tiny mechanic when you could trash talk and raise the stakes of the auction items as her, where she's actually completely broke. So she's not gonna pay for any of these. And she just completely destroys these VIPs by trash talking them. And you get to choose the options, like what you do. You get to trash talk them, you get to raise the stakes to like 100 million funds, which is an incredible sum. And that was pretty fun. This game isn't afraid to experimenting a bit. Okay, there are 2 or 3 things that I still want to show. We're going to purchase another coffee shop. Invest 75 fonds into the cafe. This is the cafe. You can hire people here. I don't have enough people though to hire. So anyway, you can play old Flash games here. So there's, for example, this owner's selection, which is literally just you play old Flash games where you like prepare stuff for the customer. Okay, there were 2 more things I wanted to show. Have hobbies. There's a maid cafe, which is something I wanted to see, but never had the chance. So what you're going to see is my now true first reaction to Maid Cafe. And then you're going to see something that I feel like no other game has. Okay, there was one game that did something similar, but the audacity that this game does it with is just incredible. Maid Cafe. Please let me steal your car. Thank you. That's a maid cafe. You can apparently make some money here. Give me my rewards. Huh? Where can you can like play some games, but I can see where. What? Little Sparrow. Mahjong. Mahjong. I don't want to play Mahjong. I don't like Mahjong. What else is there? Tetromonimes. Arcade. Tetris. Okay. Let's do Tetris then. How can I rotate? Hold on, I cannot rotate? I can. JK rolling. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. What? That's it? Okay. Exit. Okay, I guess. Let's show you the last thing that I wanted to show in my review of this beautiful game. And then I will say whether I think that this game is worth playing or not. And there's these messages that they're not. Some of them are kind of funny. Okay, you can buy, so for money you can buy a lot of things. You can buy cars, you can also buy gifts for the characters, which they have funny reactions when you give them gifts. Let's give her a bag of chips, or whatever this is.
Wow, thank you, Coco.
It's a nice thing that they thought about, is that this character just calls you Coco, because apparently you smell. The main character smells like a coconut. Actually, this is pretty freaking smart, because usually in gacha games they call you things like traveler or appraiser in this case. And that's like just kind of boring and not really very personal, but through her calling you Coco, she gave you a nickname, and now she can call you by an actual personal nickname. That's pretty nice. I think someone who thought of this is a really smart person. Anyway, for money, again, as I said, you can buy a lot of things. You can buy, for example, apartment. Then, when you buy those apartments, you can invite characters there. And the characters that you invite, you can do a lot of interesting stuff with them. Interesting, to say the least. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that you can do with the characters. Just let me kill those guys. Property. Some really cool names are here, like Wiener Apartments. There was like Moby Dick's bookstore. I invited my basically favorite character for now, which is Mint. Yep. This is how she looks, and as you can see, this part of the game has one purpose, and I'm not going to tell what the purpose is. I'm sure you're smart enough to figure that yourself. You can do ear cleaning, And yeah, she does weird, unusual sounds. You can what you can do. You can do something that you never do in real life. So which is hold hands. Come on, hold hands. Come, yeah. You can hold hands and you can go around her. Just you have to watch out because when she runs into a wall, she'll okay. As you can see, she'll just stop following you, smacked into a wall. And you can do a lot of different things on here. You can tell her just imagine someone comes to you, your friend, because like you're inviting your friends here, and you just tell her. Crouch on the ground or sit on the ground, and she does that, and you know what it's for. You know what it's for. I don't have to tell you. I'm pretty sure. Warm up. You know what it's for. You can also do other things like rock paper scissors. It's pretty nice. Okay. Something is bugged a bit, but it's okay.
Rock, scissors.
This is a new game. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that. So we got the same thing again. And if you win or lose, I'm trying to show you. Oh, she lost. And now you get to poke her in her head. But it didn't work. Yeah, there are bugs in this game sometimes. As I said, this game, it's really polished when it comes to the animation, but some things are just made by like programming students. And as you can see, I think this was one of those things. I actually want to show you the animation because it's nice. Let's try again. This time it's actually worked. Damn, I lost. Now she gets to poke me in the head. That's okay. It's worth it to make her smile. My beautiful wife. No, I want to poke her at least once. I want you to see the animation. What the heck? Let me poke you once. Finally. Look at this. So cute. Beautiful. Anyway, I think this is pretty much everything. So, now, let's finish up the review. And let me tell you now what I think of whether you should play this game or not. And basically the answer is very simple. If you have work, you probably maybe shouldn't play this game because that's how gachas are. You'd like have to use a lot of time on them. That's going to be spent and you'll never get that time back. If you have job, I mean, I guess you have to choose yourself. I won't actually tell you whether to play this game or not. If you're a NEET and you like what I showed you in this game, you can play. That's all I say. I am a NEET, so I play this game. It's the last gacha game that I plan to play in my life. I'm having fun playing this, so I'm probably going to play it for a little while longer. And that's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.